There are several quite rocky descents down into Kenjoji, so when you are coming down steep bits like this, if you are unsteady on your feet like me, I do recommend putting your camera gear away and focus on getting down in one piece. Unless of course you've got a GoPro on your head or something like that. Anyway, on I go. My feet, especially my left one, absolutely throbbing. Even worse if I didn't have these hiking boots on. Having said that, they are new, so I haven't worn them in yet. Stop moaning. Sorry folks, just lost it for a second there. To tell you the truth, with my legs being so weary, I'd actually rather climb than descend. It's less taxing. I'm recording things like this rock in the path just as a kind of landmark for you if you are thinking of doing this walk. Right, another signpost. Let's see which way we're going. Kenjoji's that way. Let's just see out of curiosity where other places are. Kakuwanji, lovely temple by the way. That way is Imaizumi. I thought it was little district of Kamakura, just down the hill below me. Interesting temple there too, Imaizumi Fudo. But it's Kenjoji that I want. 700 metres. Okay. I hate it when I can't see over a rock, so I don't know if I'm supposed to clamber over it or there's nothing but a chasm on the other side. Camera away time. I'll just show you something. I'm sat on top of this rock. Now, I think there was a path around the rock, but it just seems to be gone. And what's left of it is on the edge of a precipice, so I'm doing that. So I've resumed the old butt shuffle and I'm clambering over this rock to the path down there. Okay. I bet the seat of my pants looks like an old coal sack. But no matter, safety first and practicality a close second. I've just realised something. As you may remember, I passed a sign and one of the sign had directions to Kakuwanji Temple in the east of Kamakura. Now I recall the access from Kakuwanji Temple to up here in the mountains was closed for the best part of a century after the great Kanto earthquake of 1923. So it looks like they've reopened the trail after almost 100 years, which is great news for hikers and Kamakura's heritage in general. I just felt a twinge in my knee. I have to keep an eye on that because a couple of years ago I damaged my knee ligaments and it kept me out of action for weeks. So anyway, enough about my medical history. Right, no idea which way to go in. Sure. Meet you are. I'll follow this gentleman up here. Oh, Mick the mountain climber time. Okay, we're above Kenjoji. Now it's time for me to think carefully about my next decision because physically and mentally I'm quite tired, and that's the kind of circumstances under which you don't make your best decisions. Okay, I've decided to head down to Kenjoji Temple, and from there, after a late lunch and a short rest, I'll decide what to do next. Okay, down I go. Mount Fuji not visible today, it's too hazy, but Pacific Ocean very much is. That's the Hansobo Shrine down there, my first stop on the way down to Kenjoji Temple. Hansobo Shrine, which with its Tengu mountain goblin statues was relocated from Kyoto to here in the hills above Kamakura a century ago. I'm heading out of Hansobo Shrine now and down towards Kenjoji Temple. 500 yen entrance fee, by the way. I'm glad I could hike here as far as Kamakura. Sad that I can't get all the way to Hase by hiking trail, but time's not on my side. I don't know if I'd make it before sunset, and my knee is hurting, I must say. I plan to get to Hase by back streets and secret medieval trails. So this is from whence we've come, and this is to whence we're heading. Continue heading downhill past the bamboo grove and the statue of Bodhidharma, the legendary founder of Zen Buddhism, reputed to have meditated for 9 years, facing a wall until he went blind and lost the use of his arms and legs. We're approaching the precincts of Kenjoji Temple now. It's about a 15-minute walk down from Hansobo. Go across the bridge. Now Kenjoji is ranked number 1 among Kamakura's Rinzai Zen temples, and I think it's safe to say it's probably one of the 4 most Zen temples and monasteries in the world. I'm really happy that I could make it all the way from Kanazawa to Kamakura through the mountains and not along busy roads. Disappointed that from here along in I'll be walking along the tarmac mainly to the Pacific at Hase, but key point is getting there. But if you do want to go through the mountains all the way, if you're going to exit out of here at Kenjoji Temple, turn right, walk north along the main road for a few hundred yards, and look out for Jochiji Temple on your left. And the hiking course to the Daibutsu, Hase and the Pacific is to the left of Jochiji Temple. And if you're in decent physical shape, which I'm not today, it should take 45 minutes to an hour. But even though it's probably an hour and a half or more till sunset, I'm not confident I could make it before it goes dark, and the shadows are lengthening too. Confuse my eyes really, it's hard to guess distances and depths. So yeah, tarmac from here on in, but I've done my best and I'm still confident I'll get to Hase. So yes, after exiting Kenjoji Temple, if you do want to continue hiking through the mountains to Hase, the Great Buddha and the Pacific, follow this road up here for a few hundred yards and look out for Jochiji Temple on your left. The Daibutsu, the Great Buddha hiking course, is off to the left there. So yes, if you wanted to carry on hiking, you'd go north to Jochiji and then through the mountains to the Great Buddha and onto the Pacific. I'm going to do it slightly differently. I'm going to go right from the temple along the main road, looking for a route called the Kamegaya Tsuzaka Kiridoshi, and then I'll head on to the Great Buddha. So I'm heading north along the road from Kenjoji Temple now, just for 100 or 200 yards. I'm looking for the Kamegayatsu Pass, the Kamegayatsu Kiridoshi. Hopefully that'll give me a route through to the Great Buddha and Hase. Just on the left here is Kenjoji Temple, so I'm guessing this path to the left of the temple is the Kiridoshi that I'm looking for. I'm walking into the sun.